Because you don't know more is in you until somebody outside of you puts a demand on you. And in this season, God's saying, I know you feel like washing your nets, but in this seek season, you're not just seeking more from me. I'm seeking more for you. None of this would have happened if he had been finished when he thought he was. Woo! Did you hear me? None of this would have happened if he would have quit when he thought he was done. So because he didn't make God submit to his timetable, and because he submitted to God's timetable, his resilience was rewarded. See, he has this incredible harvest of fish, and this harvest of fish can represent three things he would have missed out on if he had quit before God told him to quit. Number one, the fish represent favor. You think that's the only boat Jesus could have used? You think out of all the boats on the lake, Peter's boat was the only boat he could have used? He could have used any boat. The Bible tells us he walks on water. He don't even need a boat. He didn't get in the boat for him. He got in the boat for Peter. But favor, watch this, favor felt like responsibility before it turned into a reward. Because when he asked Peter to use the boat, I'm not even going to bother this because it's the principle of first. He didn't tell Peter what would happen. When he asked him, see, when he said, let's go out into the deep, this is after he had already used the boat to teach. So he asked Peter to use the boat and promised nothing in return. And because Peter let him use it, he filled it. And are you asking God to fill what you won't let him use? I'm not bothering this, but it's the principle of first. He gave the boat first. It was a first fruit. No promise, no gimmicks, no games. And some people will only give a boat if somebody promised to fill it. I said, Peter, this feels like responsibility because you're like, why out of all the other boats? Because see, this is what you got to see. When Jesus decided to use Peter's boat, now Peter can't leave when he's done. Now he got to wait till Jesus is done. So it could feel like it's an inconvenience. I got other stuff to do. Hurry up and get finished with your little Sunday school lesson. It represents favor. But he would have missed favor if he would have let frustration cause him to finish when he wasn't finished. It represents fulfillment. That's what the fish, see, there is very little that is more emotionally challenging than to fish all night for something and catch nothing. Am I making sense here? The Bible says in Isaiah 58:11, the Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. See, quitting before God says stop don't ease frustration. It compounds frustration. Are you here? The fish can also represent finances. Deuteronomy 8:18, but remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth. They couldn't eat all those fish. They weren't in the fishing business just to eat. They got the fish and exchanged it for currency. So this represents tangible blessing that they could have missed if they would have quit when they didn't quit. Here's what I want you to see. When I say I'm looking for more, normally in this series, when I say I'm looking for, it's what we're looking for from God. I'm done. Here it is. Today, the question is this what God is looking for from you? Maybe you think you don't have any more to give. You washing your nets. And God's like, I'm looking for more. Because I know there's more on the inside of you. I know there's more than what you've experienced. I know that your frustration has probably led to some fatigue. So now you're not only mad, but you're tired. Not tired, tired. Change Atlanta, change Jersey, change global. Vision God gave me for his church, sitting in systematic theology at Princeton Seminary. Over 20 years ago. I still don't see it yet. I see it here. I still don't see it here yet. But what, even when I look at what God's done so far, what would I have missed if I had put my nets away all the times they came up empty? What are you going to miss? I'm like, man, this not working. God's like, I'm looking for more. Come on here. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? I'll be, sometimes I'll be working out and me and my trainer don't count the same. What kind of math are you using? He'd be like 30 seconds and I'm counting in my head. I was like, we at 45. Because you don't know more is in you until somebody outside of you puts a demand on you. And in this season, God's saying, I know you feel like washing your nets, but in this seek season, you're not just seeking more from me. I'm seeking more for you because I know more in you. How much more can I take? More. More. He will never make a demand where he has not made a deposit.